Shelby Thomas with you today, showing you how to make a fun and easy card. We're going to be using a die cut from Memory Box that's in the shape of a heart that has butterflies that are cut into the paper. So the first thing you want to do is line up where you want that die cut to be and then trace around very lightly with a pencil. I have watercolor paper down on top of a bamboo cutting board and secured with some painter's tape. First thing I'm going to do is wet the watercolor paper within the lines of the die cut that I had just traced, and this allows for a wet to wet technique. That is what was used to create this look. So I'm keeping the water right inside the lines, and as you know, if you watercolor, dry paper acts as a dam, and as soon as you wet it, then it releases all of what's behind the dam. So I've laid in some of the blue color. I'm going to come back in now. Oop, wasn't quite dry in that spot, so I put some more water on my brush to get that moving. And I went back into the palette to get some more intense color of the purple. And the great thing about working on a cutting board is that it's easier to manipulate the paper and to get the inks or the paint to flow where you want it to go. So now I've laid down all the color. I'm going to come back in and just touch up around the edges, right around where I put the pencil marks for tracing of the die. Just making sure that all the color is laid down that I want. And you can see with my brush I'm just dabbing. I'm not really scrubbing or moving large strokes with the paintbrush. And I don't like puddling of my paint, and again, this is personal preference. It doesn't have to be done this way. I'm going to come in with the edge of a paper towel, and I'm going to just soak up the excess paint. And for the sake of time, I'm going to cut this short on the video, but then when I have it all soaked up, I'm also then going to heat set it. The next step is to erase the lines. So, who wants pencil marks all over their work? So I'm coming in with a white eraser. Now I'm going to die cut. I've lined it back up with where I've done the watercolor and secured it with some removable post-it tape. And voila, I'm going to check the back side to make sure that it cut all the way through and start releasing some of those butterflies that are cut straight into the paper from the die. This particular die, it doesn't release the butterflies. It's called what's cut into the paper. Now the next step, I'm using one of my favorite stamping tools, which is the Misty. I'm going to line up the clear block or the clear polyphotomer sentiment where I want it, and I'm going to ink it up with some of this ombre purple ink from Hero Arts. My review on the Hero Arts ombre ink is I love the blue. I can't really tell much of an ombre effect with the purple. So maybe I'm just not doing it properly, but I've not seen a huge ombre effect with the purple. Now the blue is gorgeous. Love the blue. Purple I'm not. It just seems like it's straight the same color ink. So as you can see with the Misty, if you line it up perfectly, you can go back and re-stamp. Now I'm going to just lay down and line up that blue strip of paper. I'm using my cutting mat to line it up on 1/8 of an inch. Now when you're doing the adhesive on the back side, just make sure that you're not going over the die cuts or the butterflies in this case, or you won't be able to release them on the front side when it comes time. So now I'm going to use the cutting mat again to line up to make sure I lay down the front panel where I want it to be. And when I lay down my layers on my card, I never completely, or I don't press very hard the first time, because the probability of messing it up and not having it exactly perfect is pretty high with me. So as you can see in that one, I didn't get lined up the first time, but it was easy to remove since I hadn't pressed so hard. Now the final step on this card is releasing those butterflies if you want them to be where their wings are up. And like I said before, this particular die, the butterflies are meant to stay in the paper, and it's just a matter of poking out or poking up the butterfly wings to get it look like they're flying. So in this I was using a pick, but you can use your fingernails. Thanks for stopping by and hope you all have a great day.